Good morning, Chairman and Board members. Thank you for your time and providing us with the opportunity to present our findings and recommendations to you all today. My name is Jessica, and you will also hear from my fellow colleagues, Tammy and Mohammed. This presentation will detail Australia Post's current performance in relation to its triple bottom line in the context of their existing operating model. After AP's position in its current operating environment is illustrated, we will present our recommendations that promote continuous improvement and sustainability. Our presentation structure will be delivered in 3 sections.
Each section focuses on one element of the triple bottom line. Firstly, I will present findings and recommendations from the economic perspective of the organisation. This will be followed with the social aspect presented by Tammy, and finally the environmental context presented by Mohammed.
For the purpose of this presentation, Australia Post will be referred to as AP. AP is a self-funded government business enterprise with the Australian Government as the sole shareholder. Under the Essential Services Act 1988, AP has been classified as an essential service. This means that AP has been categorised into a class of industries that are legislated by the government to have special restrictions and regulations placed upon their operations. In this unprecedented time surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, this level of government power has had a positive impact. While some organisations have had to cease or limit their operations, AP has been exempted from restrictive laws that have been enforced. On the flip side though, the government has the power to enforce strict community service obligations, even if AP is operating at a loss.
Under the Australian Postal Corporation Act 1989, the organisational purpose is based on both community service and commercial obligations. As per the APC Act, the principal function of AP is to supply postal services within Australia and between Australia and overseas. This is to be conducted by providing the community with quality and efficient services whilst also commercially operating to achieve a reasonable return on assets. The profit AP earns is used to pay dividends to the government and then reinvest assets and services to meet the evolving needs of their customers. AP's 2019 to 2023 Statement of Corporate Intent defines the business in 3 operating segments. Number 1, communication and management systems, which consists of letter services within Australia and between Australia and overseas. This also includes digital communication services. Secondly, parcels and express services, consisting of parcel and courier services within Australia and between Australia and overseas. And thirdly, retail services, comprising of a range of retail merchandise and financial and agency services.
As mentioned earlier, AP has strict CSOs enforced by the government, and this type of inflexibility means AP's business model is designed from a mechanistic perspective. According to Morgan, mechanistically structured organisations find it difficult to adapt to changing circumstances because they are designed to achieve predetermined goals. Daft, Murphy and Wilmot state that key concepts from a mechanistic approach consist of traditional, formalised, centralised and machine-like rules. This type of approach has been effective for AP in the historical postal environment, but this approach will prove destructive in the contemporary environment it finds itself in today. Morgan adds that a mechanistic approach can be effective in stable environments, but detrimental in dynamic climates. AP currently finds themselves in an evolving consumer market in which digital preferences reign over more traditional services such as letters. In addition to this, the competitor market intensifies with the significant growth in the e-commerce sector. This also brings great opportunity if AP can create sustainable competitive advantage. To capitalise on the e-commerce market, it is recommended that AP develop and upgrade their existing capability in areas such as secure payment platforms, international logistics and supply. In the short term, this would assist small business customers to have more effective participation in global markets. Longer term impact would see AP positioned in the market as a credible and dependable provider of e-commerce solutions. This recommendation also addresses one of AP's key 5 strategic goals. We will connect customers in a dynamic global market. When reviewing and later assessing the current effectiveness of AP's operational model, we adopted 2 key methods. Initially, we utilised Campbell, Gutierrez and Lancelot's 2017 operating model. The operating model canvas identified the key elements of current operations. Secondly, we review AP's strategic intent in relation to each area of the triple bottom line.
As you can see, this allowed us to easily categorise how AP creates and delivers value. With the clear identification of each area of operations, the organisation is viewed holistically, which is critical for the assessment of organisational design. For an organisation to perform well and readily adapt to changing circumstances, Stanford states it must assess all elements of an organisation and its operating environment, with the objective to bring them into alignment. Using the OMC as a tool enabled us to determine the fit between organisational purpose and the operating model.
The 2019 annual report details that their strategic direction is based on growth and driving their business more efficiently. AP specifies that they are aiming to grow their business by delivering $10 billion in revenue and $500 million in profit annually by 2025. Unfortunately, their current operations are not set up for success in achieving this goal.
The 2018/19 financial year recorded a gross profit of $40.6 million. Although this met the prescribed performance standards, this was a significant decline from the previous financial year. The 2017/18 financial year recorded a gross profit of $134.2 million. The return on average operating assets also recorded a significant decline, with 3.3% return in 2017/18 financial year and a drop to 1.6% return in 2018/19 financial year.
This result can be partly attributed to a 2.8% increase in expenditure from the previous financial year. However, the primary contingency factor is the decline in traditional letter volumes. This is an ongoing concern made especially evident in the last 3 years. Since 2016, the annual volume of letters mailed within Australia is down 28.4%, equivalent to 822.1 million fewer letters each year. The challenge is to effectively balance the requirement of servicing the community who rely on traditional mail delivery whilst adhering to the commercial obligation of achieving reasonable profits for its shareholders and operational expenses. The trend in declining letter volumes are predicted to drop further, and this is a major concern. One of the trial campaigns would be the conversion from door-to-door delivery to community mailboxes. This would involve rolling out communal mailboxes in regional areas where customers would collect their mail from instead of the mail being delivered to their door. The short-term impact will pose a disruption in traditional services, and this could mean initial increase in expense as AP would have to strictly monitor and mitigate customer concerns. This strategy was rolled out in Canada with an unsuccessful outcome and was retracted. This unfavourable outcome was largely attributed to customer complaints from elderly and disabled citizens regarding accessibility. It is recommended that AP avoid this by exempting senior or concession card holders. The program will also be rolled out gradually and vigilantly monitored and assessed. The long-term impact would save AP a significant amount of money, and this would place them in a favourable position in achieving their 2025 profitability goal. The second pilot project would be to diversify into complementary business models. AP should concentrate on expanding into the digital communications and services areas. This would involve extending the digital product range on offer at their retail stores. Along with providing IT facilities, such as paid internet use and rental equipment at outlets, the short-term impact would mean increased expenditure with an investment into marketing and purchasing of products. Also transitioning their customer market into a more progressive consumer behaviour. The long-term impact would mean an increase in revenue whilst assisting people who are digitally excluded from key economic and social institutions. The next section will be delivered by Tammy, and she will detail the social impact on the triple bottom line. Thank you.